Simon.
And I'm Roger.
And we're both chefs with UKHarvest, the food rescue charity. And today we're going to be making a cheesy leek and potato pie. So for our pie we need two main things. One's the filling, one's the pastry. So for the filling we've got 3 or 4 leeks finely chopped up. We've got our potatoes, again 450 grams in slices, half an onion, and about 150 grams of mature cheddar cheese. Plus then we've got some mixed herbs, a knob of butter just to cook it in, and some pepper for our seasoning. And then our pastry, it's a basic short crust pastry. So we've got plain flour, 500 grams, chopped up cube butter, that's 250 grams, so half fat to flour, and a little pinch of salt will go in there as well, and then some water just to bind it all together. Now, our kitchen isn't exactly big. So, Roger's going to do the pastry, so I'm going to get out of the way, and it's over to him.
Okay, so we simply have our plain flour, which we're just going to sprinkle into a bowl. And as Simon explained earlier, it's half fat to flour. So this has been basically kind of diced up. A really good pinch of salt or two to add to that, particularly if you're using unsalted butter, and away we go. Just gently start pinching the butter in through the flour, and we just keep going and going and going until we've got a sort of breadcrumb kind of consistency.
So Rog, why is it called short crust?
Now, it's a good question, Simon. The reason it's called short crust pastry is because as you're working the fat into the flour, you're binding the two together. And this process, with the amount of fat particularly, it stops the gluten strands from elongating like you really need when bread making. So that absolutely sort of prevents that happening and allowing the thing to sort of become biscuity as opposed to spongy. Okay, so after 2 or 3 minutes of rubbing through your fingers, you end up with this lovely kind of light breadcrumby kind of texture. As you can see, fall through your fingers. And it's at this point, just make a little well, and you have a drop of cold water, probably only like a couple of tablespoonfuls, sprinkle that through, and then you can just bring this together.
Best to add your water slow, Rog, rather than just putting it all in
No,
at once?
a quick little drop. Okay, so we've got the paste and it's all brought together. We're just going to give it a little knead, and then that's pretty well it. We're just going to wrap this up now in some cling film and leave it in the fridge for 15-20 minutes just to relax.
Okay, so Roger's done the pastry, left me the kitchen, so let's get on with the filling. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our chunked potatoes and we're just going to put those into a pan with some cold water and then bring that up to the boil, and then we're going to let those simmer for about 4 or 5 minutes just to soften up. So first of all, let's get our knob of butter straight in there so that can start melting. Once that starts to come down, make sure the whole of the base of the pan is covered because we don't want anything sticking or burning. To that, we're going to add our leeks straight in, and we're going to add our onion straight in. Make sure it's all out, you don't want to leave that behind. A couple of teaspoons of mixed herbs can just be sprinkled over the top, and a good pinch of black pepper. Let's give this some season. There we go. And all we're going to do is just keep that moving over a medium heat until everything softens and we can really smell the onions and we can feel just loose leeks. So just keep that going now. Okay, so we've drained our potatoes. Our leeks have softened. So all we're going to do, really easy, simple, add the potatoes in there. Now obviously the Cornish, if they were making a pasta, they'd be saying everything's got to go in raw. Luckily, we're not in Cornwall, we're making a pie. So we're just going to mix all of that through. Make sure that your herbs are all coating the potato. And then all we're going to do is just let that cool down just a little bit before we add our cheddar cheese to it.
Okay, so after 15 minutes, our pastry should be ready. Nicely chilled down. Gonna unwrap it. And then we're gonna halve it in two for the base and the top. Okay, so we're going to take our pastry, a little bit of flour on the table, and just give it a little bit of a roll, a bit of pastry, flour on the rolling pin, keep moving it around.
Looking good.
And we're after something 3 to 4 mil thick. Okay, so we've rolled out our pastry. So we're going to need one size plate, a smaller plate for the base. We're going to need a slightly larger plate for the top. So I'm going to use my small plate and just quickly whiz around the outside of that with a decent knife. Peel back the pastry and then carefully put that onto our parchment paper, our non-stick paper on our oven tray. Okay, so I've rolled out the top. I'm using my bigger plate now, just placing it on very quickly again, just cutting round. Pulling the excess pastry out the way, just using the tip of our knife to help lift the plate off again. That is now ready to be the top for the pie. So we're going to now put the filling on the base.
Okay, so I'm just going to make the glue and glaze to stick our 2 bits of pastry together and to give our pie a lovely golden top. And it's simple. It's an egg, and all we're going to do, just beat it up so it's all mixed in, yolk and white. That's going to be our glue and our golden paste on the top. Okay, so now that our leek and potato mix has cooled down whilst Roger's done our pastry, we can add our cheese. Just blocks of cheese straight in, because when this goes in the oven, they're going to melt. It's just going to glue that filling together, and it's just going to be absolutely gorgeous. So really quick, now we're ready to fill our pastry. Generous filling, Roger, generous filling. Leave a gap around the outside, centimetre and a half, all the way around the outside, because our top we're going to put over that and glue it down with our egg wash. I'm just going to fill this up. Oh. Hope you're hungry, Rog, because I certainly am.
It's looking good.
Any mix you've got left, if you've got any spare pastry, you can make it into a sort of little pie or a pasty for your lunch tomorrow. So that, I think, is just about going to do us on there, because otherwise we're going to overfill that. So that's our filling in. Get rid of that one. Egg wash, our glue, can come in just with a pastry brush, with our egg wash. Just going to put it all the way around the outside to glue our 2 pieces of pastry together. Now our oven has been on. It's at 190 degrees. Probably get away with 180 if you've got a decent fan oven. But go with about 180, 190. Lots of glue on there. Now for the fun bit, can I get this off without it breaking? He says. Okay. If you just roll it onto your rolling pin, it helps you just pick it up, and then all you need to do, roll straight over the top. Down we go, and then very firmly just press down with your fingers all the way around your pie, keeping that pie filling in. And then I always just do a little sort of crimp around the outside to make sure our edges are glued together, because we don't want that filling going all over the bottom of our oven. Just go all the way around. Plus what this also does, it gives you a little well at the bottom to catch all of our golden egg wash in a minute. And all the way. And then because we want our pie to be nice and golden, we're just going to egg wash the whole of the top of it. This is where we get all messy and we get egg everywhere, or we try to. Lightly over the top, trying not to rip the pastry. Again, this is just going to give it that lovely golden brown colour. And then once we're totally egg washed, we're going to go straight into that 190 degree oven. And we're going to bake for about 30-35 minutes.
Okay, so we've done a simple bit of decoration. I'm just going to do a quick bit of egg wash over the top. There she goes. And then very simply, we just puncture the top, just to allow excess steam to escape. Then she goes straight into the preheated oven.
Okay, our pie's been in the oven for 35 minutes. Roger, let's get it out and see if it's golden brown. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking so good.
Oh, look at that. Lovely.
Look at that, right. Watching your fingers. Please don't stick, please don't stick. Under we go. Straight out. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, Roger, let's give it a cut and see how we get on. Nice big piece for your lunch today. Been working hard, haven't we, recently?
Absolutely.
Let's get a nice big piece of pie in there for you. Oh, steaming. Oh, that's gooey, that's lovely.
Look at that.
Okay, cut a piece for both of us, Roger. There you go.
Lovely.
Half a bit left for the crew, so they'll be happy. Let's see how we get on with this.
Fantastic.
This is great.
Delicious.
Well worth the wait. We'll see you next time.
Fantastic.